Whiplash was released in 2014 and is written and directed by Damien Chazelle and is about Andrew Neiman, portrayed by Miles Teller, who's an ambitious young jazz drummer in pursuit of rising to the top of his elite music core class. Terrence Fletcher, portrayed by J.K. Simmons, is an instructor known for his terrifying teaching methods. He then discovers Andrew and transfers the inspiring drummer into the top jazz ensemble, forever changing the young man's life. But Andrew's passion to achieve perfection quickly spirals into obsession as his ruthless teacher pushes him to the brink of his abilities and his sanity in a psychological battle. Whiplash 2014.
Not quite my tempo. Not quite my
Yeah, this is like our sixth take on the intro. Oh my god,
not quite my tempo.
Yeah, I'll let you have that one. But no, you're good. I love it. Whiplash. Okay, so when I think about my favorite movies of all time, this is one of those movies I think about. I'm gonna put my rating out first. But this is gonna be the first time I put my rating out. This is a 5 stars for me. Dude, I love this film so much.
Same, dude. I'm going 5 stars on this movie.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I can't wait to talk about it because I've been waiting all week taking notes, and I couldn't wait for this day to talk about it.
This movie is so good. This movie is first-time director, super low budget. The fact that they got J.K. Simmons, of all people, to play Fletcher is freaking nuts.
I don't know if you knew this film was actually a short film before the actual film. I'm surprised you got J.K. Simmons for that.
Dude, it's so freaking... I saw this movie 2 years ago for the first time in my living room with my dad. After that, man, after it was done and... I went to my room. I put the Oculus Quest on. The first thing I did was I looked for a fucking drum game or virtual drum set because I wanted to play these. I wanted to play the music, man. I really did. This movie's really good, man. I don't know, dude.
I vividly remember watching it for the first time too. I think I saw it with my younger brother in the living room, and it was like midnight at night, and I was like, man, I've heard a lot of good things about this film. We gotta watch it. Like, I follow all these film accounts on Instagram, so I'm just like, these are one of the movies that they always constantly drag clips from and pull and then put the edits and everything. So popping up the film, I was expecting a good film, but I didn't expect it to be this mind-blowing. It's just so well acted. The music is so beautiful. Like, I don't even listen to this type of music, but this music in the film is so good. And Miles Teller, I think before this film, he was known as one of those actors who was in those films known as like the drunk party friend, kind of like 21 and Over, Project X.
Yeah, those kinds of movies.
Yeah, he kind of like the funny drunk friend.
He's transformed a lot as his career went
I think this is one of those films that defined him as an actor and like made him like
in a multi-role, like range actors.
Yeah, this was one of those films that really like made him shine.
Yeah,
like he's good in this film, but J.K. Simmons won an Oscar for this movie.
Phenomenal, dude.
He won an Oscar for this film for Best Supporting Actor.
Yes,
and it is so well deserved. He's so intimidating in this film. The anxiety in Neiman's character.
He's threatening. He's a very, and not just verbally but physically too. Yeah. He's fucking jacked in this movie, dude.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
I saw pictures of him a while back where he's like taking pictures in front of like a mirror. He's at a gym.
I know which ones you're talking about.
Big giant beard. Yeah. He's ripped. It's crazy. Sorry, I cussed.
No, you're good.
I'm trying to keep my composure as I talk about movies because I get a little bit too excited sometimes and I start throwing words out.
But the pace. I was watching this film. I watched this film 2 times this week, all the way through, and then I would pull clips from it and just break them down. And the first revisited viewing, I pressed the time. I tapped the screen on my phone and to see the runtime, and it was 40 minutes in. I was like, "There's no fucking way,
dude! It goes by so fast."
Dude, I'm like, "Damn, it's still a 10 out of 10." It's like, when is it gonna? It doesn't give you no breathing room.
Dude, this movie's it's first scene's 10 here, 10 here. It doesn't slow down for anything. Even when there's like small scenes where he's at like a cafe or whatever on a date. Or I really like that scene when he's at the movie theater with his dad. And that it really tells a story. But the acting, everything carried on all from the beginning to the end. When he's playing the drums, and I forgot the song name, but man, it's 100% all the way through, dude. This is probably one of the best paced movies I've ever seen. Yeah, it's not no Transformers.
And Damien Chazelle, he's made good films. He directed First Man, starring Ryan Gosling, in La La Land, with Emma Stone, and Babylon with Margaret Robbie and them. That one was kind of diverse.
I never got to see that movie.
Babylon, it's diverse. It's a diverse film. I liked it. It's really good. I recommend it to anybody who loves films. How the films evolved over time over the last 100 years, say so, and just like the dark parts of Hollywood. It's like one of those films that explores Hollywood in general. But coming back to Whiplash, I think as good as those films are, I think Whiplash is Damien Chazelle's best work, and made me a fan of him as a director as a whole. Because I just love the way this film was crafted and edited. The sound mixing was so good with the editing. This film won best sound mixing and editing at the Oscars.
Really,
it did, and
I didn't know that.
It's so well deserved because some editing clips like this while incorporating the music is not easy.
It's
not, and the way that translates to the screen it's mind-blowing. It's really good. And going back to just the characters themselves, Neiman and Fletcher, say so, like right from the get-go, like when he's in his first day of class, he's taken from, I think, the lower class,
he's the starter freshman class. Well, he's not taken directly it's more of Fletcher walks in on him practicing.
Mm-hmm.
He's practicing on his set. He's in the room and he stands there. And that scene itself, too, is very intimidating. Because this is the head that, the main guy, man. This is like the one guy you really want to impress. And he comes in and he's standing there and he has his arms crossed and you're playing the drums. And again, do it again, try it again. Okay, he walks out. He comes back. He thinks that he's gonna, but he just grabs his coat, walks back.
I forgot my jacket or something.
Yeah, but yeah, that scene it's a real good representation of who this character really is because he's very calculating.
Mm-hmm.
He really is. He's a really good. I don't want to say villain because to be honest, I don't think he is a villain. He's more of a antagonist, more of like a.
I see where you're coming from.
Like a teacher.
Yeah.
But he just has a different method of teaching. He's more of a...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like military.
Yeah.
Instead of a, really nice prep school or whatever it is.
That first scene was so crazy when he kicked that kid out of the class. He didn't even... the person who was out of tune.
Yeah.
And... that kid was scared as hell, and then like Andrew, Fletcher was getting into his head already by asking him all these questions in the hallway and stuff like that. And then he goes and plays the drums, and then that's when Fletcher throws a chair at him.
Oh, he's like, not quite my tempo.
Yeah. But,
why do you think I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman? Dude, the writing of this movie is so good. The writing is really good, dude.
J.K. Simmons has a lot of memorable lines in this film.
Not quite my tempo. Get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you. Barker, that is not your boyfriend's dick. Do not come early. Right? You give a calculator to a fucking retard, he's gonna try to turn on a TV with it. I tell you, man, and every Starbucks jazz album just proves my point, really. There are no two words in the English language more harmful than good job.
He reminds me of Arlie Ermey from Full Metal Jacket. I don't know if you saw that. It's a Stanley Kubrick movie. It's really good. We should do that movie someday. But yeah, he reminds me so much of that character because they're both constantly when they're on screen. It's just the pacing is like super fast and It's crazy, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, and like diving deeper into the characters themselves, like Neiman, like he doesn't really get that much attention.
No, he doesn't.
He's even from his father. He's really distant. They don't really have like the same. Like his father's happy for him and all, but they don't really have the same interests as a whole. So he grew up always wanting that approval and all that attention and like what he was going for, and like he just wants to be like noticed and like he wants to be great. And I think Fletcher is like the person he really wants to impress. Really impress. Like he's like everybody combined together. Like this is the guy that I need him to be impressed with me.
Yeah.
And a good example of that would probably be that dinner scene. It just gives more insight because like the family does, like they don't care what
the family dynamics where he's really overshadowed by his brother, and he even brings up the point where his brother he plays college football, but it's D3 college.
I got a reply for you, Andrew. You think Carleton football is a joke? Come play with us.
4 words you will never hear from the NFL.
That gets to me every time.
And I love that scene because it really shows like the dad cares about what he's doing, but his dad has priorities because his dad also likes things, and his mom and his whole family, they all have their different opinions on stuff. But his brother, I think it's his older brother, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
That plays football,
or is it his cousins or a friend's a friend?
It's something like that.
I think it's the dad's friend.
Is it?
I think so.
I thought it was his brother, but either way, he's
fighting for that approval, recognition.
He's fighting for that chance to be noticed by the people who he loves, and he assumes that they don't love him, but they obviously do. And it's shown at the end too, when his dad comes out and he congratulates him on when he's doing his set at the end.
But I think like the point he's even brought into the class is because Fletcher does recognize his talent. Yeah. And so when he's brought in, he's got to prove himself, and eventually he reaches his breaking point. And and then you go to when Fletcher was talking about the story about Charles Parker and stuff like that, and like how I think there's a deeper meaning behind that too, because he goes and talks about how Joe Jonas, Charles Parker's mentor, threw a symbol at his head, and Charles Parker messed up because he messed up and was embarrassed and humiliated himself, and then he walked off the stage, but he worked his ass off and came back and played the greatest solo of all time. And then you reach that ending scene where they meet up again after everything goes down. Fletcher's not in the school anymore, and then they see each other at that pub or something like that. He's playing the piano.
It was a local bar or whatever.
Yeah, and then he mentions that he never had his Charles Parker.
Yeah.
That's basically the whole story right there. Andrew is Fletcher's Charles Parker. And then you see the curveball, the symbol at the end, which is Andrew being thrown that curveball of Fletcher.
Oh, he invites him.
Tormenting.
After... This is after Fletcher gets in trouble and, he tattletales on him. But, Fletcher has this unique ability of really making people trust him. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a really good character, not flaw, but ability that he has. And so he really gets Neiman to trust him, and he invites him to this show, and he's giving him this whole thing that, look, you come help me, you're gonna be real good, right? So he goes, and when he gives them the wrong, they play the wrong song and all, and I think that's a really good characterization of who Fletcher really is, because to be honest, characters like him, Vader, Palpatine, people like those, I think they're like these over-the-top, super intelligent characters that are really well written. I think that's really what carries movies like this. Because you go for these the heroes of the story, but in reality, if you're thinking about it, these are your favorite characters. I know for a fact, I'm assuming here, but I'm assuming Fletcher's your favorite character in the movie.
No, Miles Teller's.
Really?
He's my favorite character. It's because he's so relatable. Because I found myself in situations in my life that I kind of like related to in his character. Like, because me and you, we're passionate about this stuff.
Oh yeah. This
is a film where someone wants to be recognized from their passion, and I felt that a lot about what we do, what we've been doing for the past couple of years. So, and like even like him, like my family, they support me and they love me, of course, but they don't, and my friends too. But like they don't really have like that strong connection.
They don't have the drive of what you want to do.
Yeah. And so that's another reason why I love the movie so much, because like it's about not quitting, not giving up on what you want to do in life. And going back to what I was saying about the Charles Parker story and whatnot, Andrew goes back and plays one of the best fucking solos ever put to music.
Yeah.
And in a way, they both kind of won, because I think that's what Fletcher wanted. He wanted the perfect student. He wanted his Charles Parker, and he got it. And then so like that ending is probably like one of the greatest movie endings of all time.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
And I love it.
And this, there's really good scenes in the movie that really drives your point on that. There's scenes where Neiman, he's in his dorm and he takes everything out and he puts his drums. He doesn't have a bed and he's constantly playing and it cuts. His hands are all bleeding. He's wrapping them
that
up.
Are actually really bleeding. They're
really
bleeding. Yeah, they're really bleeding. And in that one scene where Neiman breaks down and tackles Fletcher, I think J.K. Simmons actually broke 2 ribs during that scene. Yeah, and then Miles Teller's hands were really bleeding while he was.
But yeah, just him. He's playing the drums and he's trying. Who was the other drummer? I forgot his name, but
Tanner.
It never shows him, like pushing beyond his limits. It's always Neiman who's going the extra mile, extra step to be better than everybody else. And and it's not just him doing it.
Because he wants to be great. I mean, he ended his relationship just to be great.
Yeah,
and he does it so messed up.
And Fletcher's really pushing him. Yeah, like, really pushing him. And I don't think I think it's till the end where he realizes, he's a real hard ass, and he's pushing until, because there is a scene where it's revealed that one of his former students killed himself.
Yeah,
because Fletcher was so real hard on him, but I don't want to sympathize with Fletcher. Well, I kind of do, I kind of see where he's coming from, because I've had, there's people in my life that are like that too, who really pushed you. But he's one of those teachers that wants the best. He really wants the best for him. You can tell too. He really cares about his students, but he also cares about winning. And he also cares about being the absolute best and perfect, like Kobe Bryant would be, just
that mentality.
Pushing to that mentality of being the ultimate best at your craft. And I think that's what makes those 2 final shots so satisfying, when they have the close-ups of the smile and then
J.K. Simmons' character nods. Yeah. And it just poetry. The symbolism is so great.
Really good, man.
And but like even like the scene where Neiman has control of that dude's folder.
Oh, he puts it down and he gets something from the. Yeah.
I think Fletcher took the folder.
You think so?
To teach Tanner a lesson to not leave his folder onto somebody else, and to see if Andrew could prove himself as a great musician. And sure enough, he did. He took his spot, and it was so cold when he told Tanner to don't forget to turn Neiman's pages. That was so. Oh my god, dude!
I love when he sits down. And he's like, "Whoa, what are you doing? No, you're not number one. No."
Oh yeah, we're not.
A scene that I really like that really pushes the limits of the movie is there's 3 drummers. Mm-hmm. There's a drum set. There's a chair, and Fletcher he's looking for a drummer, and he already knows he's going to choose Neiman. You can already tell, but he has them all 3 going back and forth doing tempo, and it's really fast. He can go the fastest, and they keep going. I think they go for hours. He legit stops the class. And he's pushing these students, man. It's super cool.
Damien Chazelle did this thing where those shots where Miles Teller looks tired.
Yeah.
He would really linger the shots while Miles Teller was drumming fast and wouldn't yell cut. So it would constantly going so he can get him really tired on the drums. So it was like a natural
reaction of having to do it.
Being really tired of hitting those drums. But yeah.
Man, this movie it pushes the boundaries on how hard a character can be to another person,
and
without being freaking, without being super over the top. Because in my opinion, I don't think J.K. Simmons was too over the top on this role.
He really wasn't.
He played it the best of his abilities, which is
He did it
the best that there is. And I don't know, man. He didn't linger on too long, or the character wasn't on screen so long where I was like, I'm getting tired of this.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting boring. I didn't feel like that. I was like, I want more. I want more of this character. He's like Tom Cruise from Tropic Thunder, where you just want more of the character.
I'm putting a clip in there.
But yeah, man, the J.K. Simmons was so good and so fantastic. The acting of the whole movie in general was just really good. And I wanted more. When the movie was over, I wanted more. That's how I felt.
I was satisfied, but I thought the movie was perfect.
Oh, it was so
From
good.
start to finish, the movie's just a masterpiece.
So good, dude. I was super excited. And I was really excited that you brought this movie up, that you wanted to watch it. And I don't know, dude.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I know you didn't know that, but here we are. I'm telling you now.
Dude,
it's one
so
of my
good,
favorite movies
dude.
of all
It's
time.
so good.
If not, probably my favorite. I don't know yet, but I mean, it's up there. When I think of my favorite movies, I think of those two and Whiplash, and yeah.
Yeah, but man, this movie doesn't linger on too long. It's a perfect pace. The characters are really good. Writing's really good. The sound design too, it's phenomenal.
Oh,
dude. The sound design, everything about it, it's especially when they're playing the drums or when the band's on, the whole band's playing, you can really feel the music
and even the respect and the banter between Neiman and Fletcher. He goes from "I'll gouge your effing eyes out" to "Andrew, what are you doing, man?" It's like you hear that tone in his voice change. It's like, oh shit, here's a boy becoming a man, becoming a great musician. It's just excellent from a character development standpoint. It's just so beautifully written from the script. It's great screenplay, and the directing was crazy with the whip pans, the crazy whip pans.
Oh, dude, was going back and forth.
Yeah,
Fletcher and Neiman just back and forth.
Where he's doing his hand thing. Yeah.
I honestly believe Neiman is a result of Fletcher. Without Fletcher, there would be no Neiman. And without Neiman, Fletcher would still go on. Yeah. I think Neiman really needed that push in life to be the best. I wonder what his career looked like after.
So I think the director actually answers that question.
Really?
He says that Neiman actually, he sees Neiman becoming a good jazz musician after that.
Yeah.
But probably had an early death, like that student that killed himself.
Oh, you think so?
You think maybe he probably OD'd or something like that.
All the pressure there. Yeah, I can see that happening.
The way I see it, he went on to become a great jazz musician. But I mean, it's up to interpretation. I mean, art is art. So that's the way I see it. I don't think Neiman would kill himself.
Yeah, I think he had too much of the mentality of being the best. And that's not usually the thing that forces somebody to end their life and stuff. What it is the lack of motivations and stuff, like that kind of thing.
One thing that had me thinking was that last shot of his dad looking at the drum,
real happy and everything. Yeah,
or not even that, like the one where he's watching his son drum super rapidly, and it's like that long shot of him. He's not a happy face, but it's more of it's more of a concerning look, almost like he lost his son to what he's obsessed with, and he feels like Fletcher consumed him mentally, and he's just obsessed with becoming what exactly Fletcher wanted him to be.
I saw it as more of a realization of he finally realizes the drive his son has for this thing, because as we go back on to that dinner scene. Mm-hmm. Is that dad totally ignored him, and I think he regrets really ignoring his son. And right now, he's finally realizing that holy shit, my son is freaking really good.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. He's standing there, because I've seen my dad with the same look. I see my dad stand there and just watch on. He's just watching and just thinking in his head oh, okay, this is happening, and respects the craft.
Yeah. That makes a lot sense too. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I think his dad had a lot of regret, not really paying much attention or not being there for his son when
I could see that happening.
Having to do something that he really wanted to do, but he didn't help him out that much. I think he did give him the drum set, did he?
I think so. Nah, I don't think so.
I forgot where he got that drum set from. Somebody made a bad decision out there. Well, yeah, man, I think that's it.
That's Whiplash 2014. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys, and make sure to comment down below what movies you guys want us to review next, because we're looking forward to bringing y'all guys more reviews soon.
Yeah, I'm Steven Gomez.
And I'm Matt, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
See you in the next one. That was a Primetime Flicks.